What if we told you that we have a pretty darn good idea of who the next CEO is going to be for the Walt Disney Company? And what if we told you that there are major politics in play with this one? This pick might even go all the way up to the very top of the Democratic Party. Folks, sit tight and get ready. It's time for class. We'll tell you who's next up in Bob Iger's Looking Glass. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Pro Channel, where we endeavor to explain entertainment, keep you ahead of the culture curve, and this time we are going deep in a fascinating expose as to who might be the very next CEO of the Walt Disney Company. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going places you might not hear this anywhere else. Hang tight, let's bring on the panel, and as we do, we only ask of you one thing. Click that like button. Let's go to the Hollywood Reporter for our first story, folks. We are 40 minutes into this and just now getting to the first news item. But listen, again, it's an 80K celebration. It's a little bit different than the typical pro show, and we're happy it is that way. All right, out of the Hollywood Reporter, just to set the table for you, I think Dana Walden is going to be the next Disney CEO, unless, and this is a big unless there's an attempt at a hostile takeover of some sort at Disney this fall and going into the next board option for voting. That ballot could change things. The political culture could sway things. But as of right now, everything in my view is gearing up to have Dana Walden be the next CEO. We'll explain it right now. Dana Walden on Disney's Emmy noms, Shogun Future and giving Kimmel a hosting break. This is by Mikey O'Connell. It's out of the Hollywood Reporter. I'm going to juxtapose what this article is saying with what the reality is on the ground. And then I think that will explain why she is the next CEO. It also needs to be understood that when Joe Biden and the Biden executive branch hosted Emmanuel Macron, the president of France, a year or two ago at the White House for one of the only white tie dinners, and folks, you'll need to go Google white tie dinners if you want to know what those are and why they are significant. Disney could have sent anyone to go attend that. They chose Dana Walden, and I think there's a reason for it. Dana Walden had an above-average Wednesday morning, says this article. The co-chair of Disney Entertainment with a sprawling portfolio of platforms and studios saw her various outfits earn a total of 183 Emmy nominations earlier in the day. Pause. Folks, pause for the cause, because let's go back up to right here in this first, that's a lot of parentheses. We intended to grab just this. Hulu, Disney, Plus, and FX. Now, I don't pay enough attention to FX. It's not on my radar because it's not big enough. But I can tell you that Hulu and Disney Plus have been diminished and Tubi is beating them. And I can tell you that's all that matters. It's all that matters. You can talk about everything else in the world. What matters is, are people engaging with your content? And are they watching advertising? Are they paying you money to do this thing? Because ultimately that's the job, is to make money. Now, 20th Television and Disney branded television. We're going to have an article here in just a little bit that relays the dire state of that. So understanding all of that as sort of the precursor to what we're taking a look at, here is what the Hollywood Reporter says. It says, buoyed. I always hate that word because I never know which stress to place there. Like, do you do that really strange thing with the word rural where you're really careful? You're like, I'm going to say that second R. Buoyed by FX output like Shogun and the Bear. Perennial Hulu darling, Only Murders in the Building, and ABC broadcast unicorn Abbott Elementary. The parent company heads into the 2024 Primetime Emmys with its most nominations to date. Well, la-dee-da. So this entire article is her being interviewed because she has, under her tutelage, she has managed to get the most nominations for awards ever for the Walt Disney Company. Take a look at this. I'm going to give you just an example of this, okay? So looking at how these are divided, there are 93 nominations for FX alone, and since you probably won't say it, I will. That's more than HBO, which is quite wild given the history there. And she goes, oh, well, that's great. Bob Iger loves me, ha. And then it says, speaking of strategy, can you talk to me a little bit about Shogun? She goes, well, it's doing real great, ha. We get down to this. I think this is more close to home. ABC, a Disney-owned network, is hosting the Emmys telecast this year. Any chance of getting Jimmy Kimmel to host again? Here's what Dana Walden says. Jimmy Kimmel is always our first ask. Let that sink in for a moment, folks. Jimmy Kimmel, whose ratings are garbage. Jimmy Kimmel, who has turned late night into political screed along with Stephen Colbert. Jimmy Kimmel, who is divisive. Jimmy Kimmel, who oftentimes gets into, what would we say, scuffles in the digital form while he's on stage. He is that poor in the domain of willpower. He's always our first ask, always. He's always our first choice in terms of partners. So any of you out there who might be a partner with Disney, get out of here. Get out of here. It's Jimmy Kimmel. He's our first partner. He represents our company so well. And he's done such remarkable work. But the Oscars is a lot of work. Hosting a daily show is a lot of work, so Jimmy's not hosting the Emmys. Why is Jimmy not hosting the Emmys? Because ratings. Because he's not popular. That's the real reality. And that's the reality that's going on here. That's the meta that's happening within this article. So the meta is that, in reality, Disney's ratings are sinking. Folks like Jimmy Kimmel have been a part of that. Dana Walden is over it. But inside the industry, she's being given a lot of awards. And that is being pushed into these articles. So what is that all about? Well, as Lou might attest to you, these award shows and these articles that are about award shows often have very little to do with quality and a whole lot to do, sometimes, not all the times, sometimes to do with setting a narrative. And I think this is the preparation for the media campaign to get Dana into the seat. Lou?
And go on to the very next question they ask her.
Let me drop down below
because
Jimmy
it's
Kimmel.
Very relevant.
All right, reading it right now. I realize that you are several 100,000 feet above many of these decisions at this point, but have you talked at all internally at the company about how you want to approach the Emmys this year, knowing that it will air a little more than a month out from a very contentious election?
And that is a part of it too. Because
yes, it's why Jimmy can't be there.
Because Jimmy can't be there, especially because at this point they don't know who's going to win. But it matters whether Trump wins by a little or by a whole hell of a lot. The last thing you want to do is put on the guy who is guaranteed to say, well, that schmuck got in, so I guess I'll make some jokes about what an idiot he is. And therefore, what an idiot all few of you who are still watching this award show, knowing I'm on it, think of him. It is a guaranteed kick in the butt to their audience, even more than all their other kicks in the butt.
So he's their first choice, but they got to shield him.
Yeah, they got to shield.
This is like Scarborough the other day, Lou. This is like Scarborough and poor Mika.
And Scarborough reacted by saying, "You do that again, I might walk." And they thought, "Please, please, please."
Poor Mika couldn't even get a pika over on the screen when it was the next day. Scared to death of what they might say. I want to go to Erika though. Erika, these award shows, they act like they matter. When it comes to the award shows, do you think that Disney getting all these awards really matters in the minds and the hearts of audiences? Like, is that going to say to them, "Oh, Dana Walden, oh, she's terrific. They got a award for the Backside of Hippos documentary over there in that Geo. Give her the red carpet." What do you think, Erika?
I don't even watch the Oscars anymore.
And why not?
I haven't watched it in years.
What did you used to enjoy about the Oscars?
I loved the elegance of it. And there was something to be said about the life of the celebrity. It was more mysterious, and the way they carried themselves.
The word
on
you're
the
looking
carpet,
for is
the
classy.
Gowns.
It was classy,
exactly.
and it
used
isn't
to be
anymore.
very classy, and it's not. It's turned into some political junkyard, and
it never stops, does it?
No, it doesn't. I don't care anymore.
And that's why they can't have
Everyone I
heroes
know has all said the same thing. We don't care anymore.
Angry?
They've laid our heroes. I was just going to say, they've laid our heroes bare. We've seen who these people really are through places like Twitter, social media, and all of that. And suddenly that mystique Erika was talking about is gone because, they are human beings. We're aware of that. We're all aware of that on a fundamental level. But emotionally, we do see these people for who they are now. Take a look at Mark Hamill. Lou and I were joking about this.
I think he's trying to. I think he wants to be the Joker. I think we thought he might try to be Luke in real life.
This is a guy who's never, ever, ever thought there was a time when he should probably just say nothing. The option of just shutting up has never occurred to him. But the bigger thing is, Erika, you talk about watching it in the old days and how it was classy and it was something. That was to everybody with a beer on their couch in hillbilly elegy territory. It was still classy, okay? Look, I am ancient. I'm almost as old as Gilgamesh, Andre. And I, when I was 13 and about to be bar mitzvahed, what was the one present I wanted? A movie camera. because and got it, by the way, and made my first movies as a kid for book reports for high school. And that's how much I religiously watched that show, because I believed in it. And they gave me something to believe in. And now, well, who gives a damn? And also what you were saying, Pro, about what it does for the brand of Disney. It's now become those things in your yearbook that say, like, I won biggest class character, or most likely to succeed at football, or all these inside the baseball of showbiz awards that outside nobody cares. And nobody, certainly, unless it's obviously Mickey Mouse or a cartoon, cares if it's Disney or if it's Fox or if it's HBO or anybody else when a movie wins Best Picture. It just doesn't matter anymore. That brand issue doesn't exist. And so she's about her brand, not Disney. Her brand.
Well, she's also,
and who
I want to get
changed
Ron's
that?
take on this.
But when Iger came in, it was about Walt's brand, not his, and he quickly changed that.
Yeah.
Well, I want to get Ron's take on this, but I want to piggyback on that, Lou. I think Dana is also controllable by Bob Iger, and ultimately, I think Iger wants to be at this company in power into the 2030s. I think he is the CEO emeritus, no matter what happens. And Dana Walden is the kind of person he can put in charge, but he'll still be in charge. She also ticks the box because she's a woman, and there are very few other women in contention for CEO. I think Dana Walden is it, even despite, and this is the point, folks, of this area of conversation today, starting off the Pro Show, the success is not there. The accolades are. Ron?
Yeah, it's this. First of all, I couldn't tell you who's won Best Picture for the last 20 years at least. I don't care. Like, I don't think the average American even cares about any of that anymore.
You're still mad about Top Gun Maverick and Godzilla -1.
And then Ron, they used to say winning an Oscar for Best Actor or for supporting was good for an extra $5 million on your next picture. Not anymore.
Not anymore. But here's my very quick take on the possibility of this is the parks are ruined if Dana Walden gets in. I'm sorry, but I have seen what she says about things. I have listened to what direction she wants to go with everything, and the parks are absolutely ruined if she touches them. And the parks are where this company makes money. They don't make money off their awards. So I don't understand. It's a frightening possibility to me. I am still of the mind where dear Lord, I hope somebody else just comes in, swoops up and buys up the company. And I don't know. Elon, where are you on this?
I'll take that one step further, actually. It's not the parks that are ruined. It's the entirety of the company. Walden is a card-carrying SJW in every way you can imagine. Absolutely every way. I'm sure she is good at some things, but she is not CEO material. I think the only reason why she is in contention for it is because she scores on the diversity cards. And as Pro said, Iger can still control her from behind the scenes. So it would be another way for Iger to be the puppet CEO of Disney for life, acting through her. Because as long as he has any kind of say in picking the replacement, which is ridiculous, he shouldn't have that. That should be a board decision. But as I have said in numerous Midnight's Edge videos, Disney doesn't have a board. And that is the problem here. That is why we are going to get another Iger acolyte, which means Iger is still going to control stuff behind the scenes. The absolute biggest shareholders, they're not going to have an issue, because that means that Disney is still going to continue to be run the way that your BlackRocks and your JP Morgans and all of those companies want to see Disney run, without the other shareholders having any kind of influence or even insight into what is happening. That is why this lady is being brought forth, when in reality she shouldn't be in contention for running the company at all. In an ideal conversation,
she's not succeeding, Andre. That's why she shouldn't be in contention.
Exactly. And they shouldn't even look inside the company. They should not look inside the Disney company. They need to find, if you actually want the Disney company to succeed, you need to find some outside blood, because this is the problem that a Disney company has. It's too much inbreeding. It's too much people who think the same. It's too much people who are serving the goals of someone who is not serving the goals of the shareholders. You need outside blood to come in and take over the company. Disney cannot sustain the way that it is. Well, of course, it can't sustain, but it can't return to what it once was. That's not happening. It's not on the cards. There's not even a desire for it. Dana Walden doesn't want to restore the Disney of the past that became an institution. She wants to carry on the Bob Iger company, because that's why she's there. And this is the exact reason why she shouldn't be allowed to do that. And also, this is why I'm saying, just to go back to what I said about the Acolyte, this is why I am not counting out a season 2 of the Acolyte. This is a company that's going to hire, or that wants to hire, probably Dana Walden for a role she is in no way qualified for, just so Bob Iger can still continue to run. And that is a company that very well could make an Acolyte season 2, because they don't care about what the audience actually thinks. That is not the priority here.
And if I could just
Absolutely.
jump in there, you can really see that they set the Acolyte up with the intention of a season 2. Like, they are so sure of themselves that they're going to have this season 2. They answered nothing in that last episode. It was wild. It's a form of egotism or just hubris. I'm not sure which.
Narcissism?
Yeah.
Look,
And folks, we have come to the end. No tuition required for this one. You received a scholarship just because you are a very dear friend of Pro. So, the only thing we ask of you now is, could you please click the like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell, and drop a comment down below. Specifically tell us, do you think we've done a good job showing you exactly how the transfer of power might happen, and it might give Bob even more leverage and keep Bob in the power he so desires. Folks, we've had a great time, a dandy of a time, you might say. And until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.